talking music time, and it's time to have a look at the Now Yearbook 1989 Extra. I've been a bit behind with Now Yearbook releases. In fact, I've got a bit of a geeky spreadsheet going. I can't be the only one that's got a spreadsheet of all the releases. It's just my way of knowing what I've not got. It really is. But there's quite a lot from February onwards that I haven't got. And do let me know in the comments as well, because there's these now that's what I call an era releases. The Sound of the Suburbs is one of them. They are separate from the yearbooks, but they do seem to have a lot of different songs. Some overlaps, but there's one, I think it's from the 80s, and it's album songs. And I'm thinking, well, they'd accompany the yearbooks, so I've got them on my list to get as well. Anyway, the Now Yearbook 89. I love the colour. There's the inside there. There we go. And of course, the now available screen is getting busier every time, isn't it, with every release. There's the track listings, which we're going to go through in more detail. Okay, so what do we start with? We start with Queen, has to be first. Breakthrough, released July the 1st, 1989. Reached number 7, 8 weeks in the charts. Great opener. It's from their album The Miracle. Duran Duran next, Burning the Ground. This was released on December the 16th, 1989. Reached number 31, 5 weeks in the charts. Burning the Ground was basically a standalone single to promote their compilation album Decade. And it's a mega mix of kind of various Duran Duran songs. And this track was not on the Decade album, which surprised me a bit when I was researching this. But then we've got Aha, You Are the One, released December the 3rd, 1988. Reached number 13. It was still in the charts in 1989, so that's how we can get away with this for the Yearbook 89. 10 weeks in the charts. We've then got the Eurythmics, Annie Lennox, of course, David Stewart, Don't Ask Me Why. Released on the 4th of November 1989. Reached number 25 and spent 8 weeks in the charts. Tears for Fears and Alita Adams, Woman in Chains, released November the 18th, 1989. Reached number 26, 9 weeks in the charts. We've got Simple Minds then, This Is Your Land, released April the 22nd, 1989. Reached number 13, 5 weeks in the charts. The Cure, Love Song, released September the 2nd, 1989. Reached number 18, 7 weeks in the charts. Fuzzbox next with Pink Sunshine. I wasn't familiar with this one. Released May the 20th, 1989. Reached number 14, spent 10 weeks in the charts. Transvision Vamp next. Landslide of Love. Released August the 5th, 1989. Reached number 14 and spent 5 weeks in the charts. We then got Fine Young Cannibals and Good Thing. I absolutely love this tune. And I remember this, playing it over and over on my Now 15 cassette, I think it was. Released April the 15th, 1989. Reached number 7, spent 9 weeks in the charts. Simply Red, A New Flame, released July the 8th, 1989. Reached number 17, 8 weeks in the charts. Do you know what? I thought it did better in the charts than that. What do I know? Curiosity Killed the Cat, Name and Number, released September the 16th, 1989. Reached number 14, spent 9 weeks in the charts. I wasn't familiar with this, but what a great tune. And that's why I love these extra releases, just discovering songs that I've never heard of before. Track 13, Holly Johnson, Atomic City, released June the 24th, 1989. Reached number 18, 4 weeks in the charts. Now, track 14, I need your help with, right? Because I've listened to this song loads of times, and I had it on a Best of ABC. I think it came out 2001, something like that, because ABC were the warm-up when I went watching Robbie Williams at Old Trafford. I was more interested in ABC, if truth be told. But One Better World was released on May the 27th, 1989. It reached number 32, 4 weeks in the charts. I do like this, but is it Lisa Stansfield that appears in the vocals partway through? Now, you see, I always thought it was, but from what I gather, it may be Lorenza Johnson doing backing vocals. So I'm sure somebody out there will know the answer to that. But to add to the mystery even more, track 15 is Lisa Stansfield. This is the Right Time. Released on August the 12th, 1989. Reached number 13, 8 weeks in the charts. So as I say, after ABC and what I've just told you about, this confused me even more. Track 16, Bananarama, Cruel Summer 89, released June the 10th, 1989. Reached number 19, 6 weeks in the charts. Original version released in 1983, and it reached number 8 then. Track 17, Sunita, right back where we started from. Released the 3rd of June, 1989. Reached number 4, 10 weeks in the charts. Cover of the Maxine Nightingale classic, good fun, I do like this. Incidentally, Maxine Nightingale's version only reached number 8, so it did better than that. Track 18, Kylie Minogue, Wouldn't Change a Thing. Released August the 5th, 1989. Reached number 2, 9 weeks in the charts. From her second album, Enjoy Yourself. Oh my God, I love that cassette growing up. Track 19, Kim Wilde, 4-letter word. Released December the 3rd, 1988. Reached number 6 and spent 12 weeks in the charts. Track 20, Jason Donovan, Sealed with a Kiss. Released June the 10th, 1989, number 1 for 2 weeks, 10 weeks in the charts. 10 Good Reasons, another cracking cassette I had growing up. And then we're on to disc 2. Track 1, Tina Turner, I Don't Want to Lose You, released November the 18th, 1989, reached number 8 and spent 11 weeks in the charts. Track 2, Soul to Soul, Get a Life, released December the 9th, 1989, reached number 3 and spent 14 weeks in the charts. Then we've got 10 City, That's the Way Love Is, released January the 21st, 1989, reached number 8 and spent 10 weeks in the charts. Jodie Watley, Real Love, released April the 8th, 1989, reached number 31 and spent 7 weeks in the charts. Track 5, Bobby Brown, My Prerogative, released December the 10th, 1988, reached number 6, spent 18 weeks in the charts, so definitely in the charts in 1989. We then got Double Trouble and Rebel MC, Street Tough, released October the 7th, 1989, reached number 3 and spent 16 weeks in the charts. Nana Cherry, Kisses on the Wind, released August the 12th, 1989, reached number 20 and spent 6 weeks in the charts. S Express next, Hey Music Lover, released February the 18th, 1989, reached number 6, 10 weeks in the charts. We then got Lisa Marie with Malcolm McLaren and the Bootzilla Orchestra, Something's Jumping in Your Shirt, released August the 12th, 1989, reached number 29 and spent 8 weeks in the charts. We then move on. Track 10, Elton John, Healing Hands. I love this one. Released August the 26th, 1989, only reached number 45, which really surprised me. 5 weeks in the charts. We then got Paul McCartney, My Brave Face, released May the 20th, 1989, from Flowers in the Dirt, one of my favourite albums of all time. Reached number 18, 5 weeks in the charts. We then got a great kind of connection, if you like, between the songs. Track 12, Elvis Costello, Veronica, released on the 4th of March 1989, reached number 31, 6 weeks in the charts. Well, the song was co-written by Elvis Costello with Paul McCartney, and you can hear Paul McCartney's bass on this as well. Great connection, I thought, between the tracks. And of course, they collaborated on Flowers in the Dirt as well. Track 13, Fergus Sings the Blues, Deacon Blue, released May the 20th, 1989. What a tune. I mean, it's the start for me, the start of a fantastic spell on this compilation. Back-to-back classics. This reached number 14, spent 7 weeks in the charts. Track 14, The Beautiful South, You Keep It All In, released September the 23rd, 1989, reached number 8 and spent 8 weeks in the charts. Track 15, Danny Wilson, The Second Summer of Love. I'd forgot about that one. Released June the 17th, 1989, reached number 23 and spent 9 weeks in the charts. The Lightning Seeds, Pure, debut chart hit, released July the 8th, 1989. What a tune. Reached number 16, 10 weeks in the charts. For me, it deserved to get in the top 10. Track 17, Spandau Ballet, Be Free With Your Love. Released August the 26th, 1989. Can you believe this? It only reached number 42. But if you haven't heard this before, then go and play it. It's a fantastic Spandau Ballet track that I wasn't familiar with, and it deserved to do better in the charts. Only 4 weeks in the charts it spent as well. Track 18, Wet, 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 Sweet Surrender. I love Wet, Wet, Wet. Released September the 30th, 1989. Reached number 6 and spent 8 weeks in the charts. Incidentally, end of part 1. their Wets compilation. I think it was 94, something like that. That was the first CD I ever bought. Track 19, Then Jericho, Sugar Box, released August the 12th, 1989, reached number 22 and spent 6 weeks in the charts. We then got Poison, Every Rose Has Its Thorn, released February the 11th, 1989, reached number 13 and spent 9 weeks in the charts. We move on to disc 3. Track 1, Donna Summer, Love's About to Change My Heart, released August the 26th, 1989, reached number 20, spent 6 weeks in the charts. Kylie Minogue, Never Too Late, another Kylie track, released November the 4th, 1989, reached number 4, 10 weeks in the charts. More Jason next. Jason Donovan, Every Day I Love You More, released September the 9th, 1989, reached number 2 and spent 10 weeks in the charts. The stock Aitken and Waterman phase of the 89 Extra continues with Big Fun, Blame It on the Boogie, debut chart hit, released August the 12th, 1989, reached number 4, 11 weeks in the charts. A great track at number 5, Martika, I Feel the Earth Move, released October the 14th, 1989, reached number 7, 14 weeks in the charts, and originally a Carole King hit, of course. Track 6, London Boys, London Nights, released on July the 1st, 1989, reached number 2, 9 weeks in the charts. And I absolutely loved this song growing up. They were a British dance pop duo based in Germany, Edom Ephraim and also Dennis Fuller. They had another hit called Requiem that was a top 5 hit also. But sadly, the duo were killed when their car was hit by a drunk driver in the Eastern Alps in Austria on the 21st of January 1996. Track 7, Liza Minnelli, Don't Drop Bombs, released October the 7th, 1989, reached number 46, 3 weeks in the charts. We then got New Order, Run 2, released on September the 9th, 1989, reached number 49, 2 weeks in the charts. Track 9 is an interesting one. The Cure, Fascination Street. It was from their 8th studio album, Disintegration, but it wasn't a single in the UK. It was a single in North America, but not over here. David Sylvian's next. The yearbooks do like a bit of David Sylvian, don't they? Pop Song, released November the 11th, 1989, reached number 83 and spent 2 weeks in the charts. Duran Duran, Do You Believe in Shame, released April the 22nd, 1989, reached number 30, 4 weeks in the charts. T'Pau next, Only the Lonely, released March the 25th, 1989, reached number 28, 6 weeks in the charts. The Bangles followed T'Pau with Be With You, released on June the 10th, 1989, reached number 23, 8 weeks in the charts. Belinda Carlisle, La Luna, released December the 9th, 1989, reached number 38, 6 weeks in the charts. We then got the Four Tops, Loco in Acapulco. I love this. Released December the 3rd, 1988. Reached number 7, 13 weeks in the charts. Are still in the charts well into 1989. So they completed the European tour in December 1988. Absolutely true, this. And they were meant to go back to the United States for Christmas on the Pan Am Flight 103, which was the one that was destroyed over Lockerbie. They didn't get on that flight because they'd had a last-minute invite and they basically prolonged filming of their performance on Top of the Pops and they took a later flight. But that is absolutely true. They should have been on the flight over Lockerbie. Track 16, Debbie Gibson, We Could Be Together, released August the 19th, 1989, reached number 22, spent 8 weeks in the charts. Yaz next, Fine Time, released February the 4th, 1989, reached number 9, 8 weeks in the charts. I was reading about Yaz whilst I was preparing this. It sounds like Yaz is doing Christian work now in Spain, I believe. Track 18, Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine, Can't Stay Away From You, released February the 11th, 1989, reached number 7, 12 weeks in the charts. Originally released on May the 21st, 1988, but it only reached number 88 on its first release. Track 19, Cliff Richard, The Best of Me, released on June the 10th, 1989, reached number 2, 7 weeks in the charts. And it ends with an absolute belter. Andrew Lloyd Webber and Michael Ball, Love Changes Everything from Aspects of Love, released January the 21st, 1989, reached number 2, 15 weeks in the charts. I always thought it was number 1, but it's a great finale. So there you go. The Now Yearbook 1989 Extra. Definitely one for the collection. Let me know what your favourite tracks are off it. And I'll be back with more yearbook reviews very soon. Hit the like and subscribe button. Bye for now.